City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! Special beyond special.
Best player in the Premier League.
Captain Marvel. Drogba! Rooney! Oh, wonderful! That is one Derby diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Wow, that was a long lead way into the intro. That's cool. Never let it get that far before. I just kind of wanted to see what would happen. Anyways, Clash of Clubs, episode 44. I'm Dylan alongside Mila and Grant, as always. We are officially at the end of the club year before some of the teams play Club World Cup with PSG taking that belt to ass to Inter as they beat them 5-0 in the Champions League final, as they now might be the next great footy dynasty. We'll talk about that, as well as reacting to our 24-25 season predictions, because they are all pretty fucking good. We got everything right, so it's going to be super quick. But then we'll talk about some transfer updates and Buemo to United, some striker and left wing news for Chelsea, and Liverpool seem to be running out of money, or might be getting a lot of money stolen from them. You put Arsa lol in the notes. I don't know what that's referring to.
I put Arsenal like I spelled Arsenal and then put OL at the end.
I'm assuming that's because they haven't done business.
It's a friendly jab. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. We can talk about that too. And then we'll round up the episode with a little bit of Footy Tiki Taka Toe. Since we haven't played a game in 2-3 months.
We've all been traumatized by our club's business.
There was no time for games.
There really was anger, and then some happiness for you guys at the end, and then more anger for me. So,
which is why you're hosting the game.
Yeah. Fuck's sake. Well, episode 44. Let's get it started. PSG 5 largest victory in Champions League history. Someone take it away.
Dude, I could not believe what I was watching. I was watching with my roommate who doesn't really watch too much footy. Occasionally he'll catch some of the games when I'm watching, but I was telling him, this should be really competitive. Can't wait. I'm a neutral, like a pure neutral. Just sit down, sit back, enjoy. That game was never competitive. I think towards the end of the first half, I kept trying to say, every time there was a corner, I was like, oh, see, that's all it takes. And then they're right back in the game. But he's just looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? This game's over. He knew it, and I knew it too. I mean, the worst part might have been the fact that the third and fourth goals came right after a tactical switch from Inzaghi. The third goal came as soon as they went to a back four. Then they made another change, and that fourth one came right after the change. But 1 through 90, just outclassed. Absolutely outclassed. We thought this was going to be close. I had a pretty heinous prediction for this one in hindsight, 3-2 Inter. I got the number of goals right. Bastoni did not have his best game. I don't think any of them did. I mean, DeMarco, probably one of the worst games he's ever played. It happens, but I mean, the best team won the tournament. I think that's fair to say. The City game was probably the turnaround for them. I mean, they were, during that game, very close to getting eliminated from the competition at the group stage.
The best team all tournament. They finished in last out of the teams to make it through to the
They finished 15th in the group. They finished 15th in the group. But up until that City game, they were pretty poor. Dembele, obviously, I feel like we haven't talked about it too much since we're mainly talking about the domestic leagues. But I hate to say it because it makes me sound just like, they won it, so I'm giving them the Ballon d'Or. But I mean, it's hard to say no. Obviously, he won everything in France. That's not valued too much, I'd say, in the votes. But Champions League best player for that team. I mean, the whole calendar year of 25, because I really think that's when it picked up. He was unstoppable. That game, it was just so free. That back heel he had to set up the third goal. I mean, it looked like he knew exactly what he was going to do that whole time. I think he's probably deserving for the Ballon d'Or. I think there's a few guys that are. Rafinha and Yamal, maybe Pedri as well. I think those Barcelona guys, I mean, they won a domestic treble. The only other one would be Salah. He had a really good first half of the season. Dembele had a really good second half of the season. And I think the second half is what helped them win the UCL. So I'd probably give him the advantage. But Salah had a historic season, so you have to at least throw his name in the hat, I'd say. Just give him that. But yeah, I think the best team in Europe won. And to your point, it can be the start of something. Enrique's second year there. The recruitment, and it's been said enough, it's not a Cinderella story. They spend a ton of money. Their wage bill is far and away the highest in the world. We know all of this, but it's a completely different approach. And it looks like they're going to be sticking to it. A lot of youngsters, a lot of young French players, guys who grew up watching this team, wanting them to succeed, becoming a part of it. I mean, you saw that fifth goal, the academy player. He was going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but those guys love the club. The other guys, I heard someone else say it, but they were like mercenaries. Like, I think Messi's a really easy example to kind of pick out, but he didn't care about PSG. You know what I mean? He's there because they're going to pay him. But it's a very passionate group of fans, and yeah, they deserve it. The future is going to be very scary, though. I mean, it looks like a sustainable project. What are you guys thinking?
I think they're building something scary there. Regardless of what they did this year, I think a lot of teams that they brushed aside, that they didn't have to go up against, are going to be better next year. But yeah, like I said, regardless of that, I think they're going to be really good. They're picking up good players. Mastantuano from the Argentine League. Yeah, from River Plate. He's a highly coveted player in Europe right now, and out of all the teams, he's going to PSG.
Yeah.
So you can brush that off now and be like, oh, whatever, it'll be okay. But if he does pan out and he is as good as everyone thinks he's going to be, then they're only going to get better from the young core that they have right now. They're going to keep building to that, which is scary
as well.
Mm-hmm.
He came in this season. He's done a job. I remember when I first saw him in the lineup, I was like 51. That was my first thought. He can play.
Out of nowhere.
He can play. And again, they paid money. They paid decent money for him, but these are young players who I've heard it all season with my team. Oh, you need experience. You need this. You need that. Their age is on par with us, right? That's a really young team, but they've got a few more experienced guys. Obviously, Marquinhos has seen it all over there. Yeah, let's have a look.
I just screenshotted from 19 down to 20. Like 20,
most of these guys are first-team players.
Some of them are cut off here, but like Dembele's in this list, and he's at like 28. So
right,
it's just a ridiculous testament to their strategy and how it's changed. Right, like, PSG has never not been ambitious. You can't like tell them that they haven't been trying to get these players and going for top talent the entire time since the Qatar. Are they Saudi? State owned. I'll just go with that because I don't know exactly what country they're from. Since they've come in and brought in all their money, I mean, that's the beauty of having that type of endless fun is you can spend it however you want. Their strategy has clearly changed, but they've always been ambitious. Bringing in Kvaratskhelia, we talked about it when they first did it as like did that really need to happen? Like you have Barcola. Like, that's the point. In the final, it proved why it mattered, and it. I mean, all throughout the group, the knockout stages, it proved why it mattered. That
perhaps Barcola will be on the move.
He might be, he might not be, but even if they don't, like they've got players out their fucking ass that are in the range of,
and they got money to spend.
And if you look at those players too, though, like there are some young guys on here, but their experienced guys are still pretty young. They just
like
are young guys that have been playing a while. Donnarumma, exactly. These guys are only 26, and they've been at the highest level,
close to a decade of
competitions for exactly a long time. So it's not like they don't have that experience in the team. It's just they picked up the guys that have started at a younger age and have already built that experience, but they match the overall age of the squad.
Yeah, and I mean, if you even look like the very top, like Zaire Emery, we haven't seen as much from him this year. It's mainly been Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, but I remember how loud the shouts were about him. And I mean, obviously, it's just a foot mob screenshot. 65 million value. I mean, that kid's not getting any game time, and not to say that that's a problem. Like he's 19 years old. He's already had 2-3 years with the first team. he'll be developed in due time. But that's, again, a testament to what they're doing here, because they're actually starting to hang on to all these academy kids. I mean, we see them all across Europe. There's so many PSG academy kids from the past generation that never got the chance. So, I mean, they're hanging on to him. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top, like, they have Ramos there. Cole Mwani's coming back. Are they going to try and bring in a striker? Or they just kind of stick to what they're doing? Because why would you? Why would you change it?
You were just saying they might have the Ballon d'Or candidate on their team playing the nine.
Yeah, exactly. And that just free-flowing front three, even the midfield, like, again, that third goal, Vitinha is the one taking the ball from his own 18-yard box all the way to the assist. I mean, it's just so free-flowing. They all have a really good understanding with each other out there. They look so good.
From a blueprint standpoint, like, I mean, you got to be looking at teams all across Europe and thinking, well, everyone's trying to do this. They just did it first, right? Chelsea, this is Chelsea's blueprint.
Yeah, with more money and wages.
The only two players they are missing in this side compared to like a Chelsea is a Fabian Ruiz, right, who's like 29, and Marquinhos, who's 31. Like that's probably the difference between these two sides in terms of the talent pool that you guys are both getting. It's mostly
it's us on crack, because they can give anyone any wage they want. I mean, a Kvara, we were involved. Not that we were favorites, but here's wages. Barcola, same thing. Ugarte, same thing. So, sorry. It's pretty much our project on steroids. It kind of gives me a bit of optimism. Like, no, you don't need just insert X 29-year-old center back. And yes, you need experience, but look what that team just did with, again, they are experienced, but a young team in terms of their age. We have a young, but I think we're starting to develop that experience. These guys have been in and around the first team. The pressure's on them. They got it done. So, yeah, I think it's a tide, changing the tides. So, hopefully we continue to see that type of football on the highest stage.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk any more about the game in general?
Inter, I mean, we could just we haven't mentioned Inter at all. I mean,
here, end of the road. I'll talk about them real quick, because I'm going to save this new thing that I'm going to do for every time a game like that occurs. But I'm just going to bring out the belt, and I'm just going to start whipping it, because that's what that was the whole time. Absolute fucking belt to ass. Champions League final. I don't care how outmatched you are. They just went toe-to-toe with Barca, and then they just got the fucking
embarrassed. And they weren't stopping. PSG wouldn't stop.
No. And they had, from start to finish, tactically outclassed, physically outclassed. I mean, it's not like this PSG team is a bunch of world beaters and that type of athletes.
No.
You'd probably actually look at Inter and go, yeah, they got probably the better athletes between the two. And then literally from start to finish, just fucking spanking them.
Like Kvara at the end when he tracked all the way back, took Dumfries, got the ball off him, won the foul, like that type of stuff. It shows. The Mbappe agendas for Mila. He's not jumping on it right now. He's kind of gonna let him marinate a little bit, but I'm sure it'll be brought back. But I mean, it's a bad look. It happens. Like, he did win whatever they call it. He won the Golden Boot over in La Liga. So, like, on paper, right, he has the most goals, but you can't with a straight face say this doesn't give him at least the smallest of blemishes at worst. Like, I mean, PSG won literally everything available to them, and they looked the part. And then Madrid go on, they have their struggles. Not to say Madrid won't figure it out with the level of talent they have. Not to say PSG will win every year from here on out, but it's definitely a bad look on Mbappe, especially the guy who took your number tracking back like that so late. You just know, as talented as Mbappe is, that's not something he's doing. But that type of effort's what won them this competition. I mean, did you guys see that clip of Dembele? Like the POV from the goal? Yeah, where he's just like waiting to sprint. Oh my goodness. Dembele. Remember how people talk about Dembele? Remember how people used to talk about Dembele? Like, that used to be the type of change. So it's really impressive. But Inter, I think it's the end of the road. It's an older team. Inzaghi's probably going Saudi now. I saw another good point on that. If you're a player, it's a bit different. The same teams that want Inzaghi now will want him 2 years later. Go get your money. Come right back, walk into whatever job you want. More than likely, at least. You're not going to be physically different after 2 years like a player, let's say, leaving in their prime. So, yeah, he's probably gone. A lot of old players getting a year older. No money to spend in that league. They didn't win anything. Yeah, they're probably going to suffer. They're not going to be competing to get to the end of this competition again, if I had to guess. With that league, you really never know. So McTominay literally won the MVP. And we've had our fair share of thoughts on McTominay and his ability. So you never know, but it just feels like the end of the road for me.
Yeah, that was their last best chance. I thought.
Yeah.
I think we all looked at them beating Barca and thought, "Oh, that was probably a bit lucky." I mean, they played well,
Yeah.
but we probably thought that was a bit lucky in terms of like how the two sides had played for the majority of the year. And then, yeah, I think when push came to shove, like Luis Enrique just out tactically
let him hang.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dembele's been inverting and going into that false nine all year. That's pretty much the switch that's fixed PSG. Yeah. And the idea that he had a Serbi essentially man marking him and destroying all the space. Look, he's not fast enough. That was a job that was never going to work. And then he switched it. I mean, maybe to your point, maybe he switched it too late. That should have never been the game plan to go into the game.
Well, you had 3 center backs marking nobody.
Yeah.
And obviously Inter are really fluid and all that good stuff, but Enrique knows how they're going to defend. There's no center forward to mark. I mean, obviously Barca, Lewandowski you have, even though he didn't even play, right? I think Ferran started the first leg. They have a 9. There's someone to mark. Barca are always going at you. There's someone to mark. PSG have no problem kind of sitting there for a few minutes and Inter, let's say, in a mid-block, passing the ball around, just waiting for them to get impatient. I mean, yeah, that's what happened. Who are they supposed to mark? They have no idea. There's no one within 10 yards of them. And there's 3 center backs. It was tough. It was tough to watch. But to your point, Enrique got it spot on.
Yeah. A good story, I think, in terms for him. And a lot of really good stories for the people that are on the team. You know, Donnarumma's got a bad rap for a long time. Same with Dembele. A lot of them got kind of a little bit of vengeance here. I thought that's what it felt like.
No doubt.
But
I was wrong about Donnarumma. I'll put my
hands up. It's not a Cinderella story either. So it's like it was kind of just like the perfect balance of like, this is the first time I've watched a PSG team and been like, I actually didn't mind that they won. Like in years past, I probably would have been pissed off.
We just see the way they're playing.
Yeah, it was cool.
I think the best way to put it, it was cool. I'm not like over the moon happy, but I'm also not like
rivalry.
I'm not even angry. I'm just like,
that happened.
Nice, which is nice. It's good to have that sometimes. We don't need to be preying on someone's downfall during the final every year.
Right, it's stressful. Isn't it crazy that Inter, obviously it's a different Inter team, but a lot of the same players, they gave Man City a really good run for their money. They had their moments where you thought they might have scored. It ended up only being 1-0. Obviously styles make fights, but they got cooked, man. I still can't believe that.
Yeah. A lot of blemishes on a lot of careers moving forward. That's what that was for me.
I saw some guy on the internet predict 3-2, so I put the house on it. I'm moving out next week.
Fair enough. All right. Well, you want to talk about really good predictions?
Let's hear.
We can talk about really good predictions. The Clash of Clubs Premier League predictions from the 24-25 season. So I went on Excel and I did this. So you got the way the table ended on the left. And
I can't see mine.
Why can't you see
United?
Well, I can't see the top 2. The Clash of Clubs is walking up.
I remember time being. So yeah, you got.
We all have the same top 2.
And yeah, Grant's on the side.
Why did I?
Yeah. Do we want to just break it down person by person and we can go
from there? Yeah. That's a good idea. So yeah.
So Mila's worst prediction was United. Fair to say.
But I got the best Spurs prediction.
You did get the best Spurs prediction.
Which was 8 off.
Significantly.
Hey, you know the worst part about
we went crazy on him when he put them 9th. I was like, oh, come on, bro. It's too much.
Grant, there's no reason to not.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. There's no reason to not be harsh on Mila still because they still got Champions League. So technically, we were right. We got the league.
Had West Ham still got Champions
League.
Well done.
That was your
Mila
worst one.
Respecting the Chelsea. Thank you.
Forest was
Villa
close.
Villa were a
there.
result away. I mean, Villa's not crazy. Yeah, United's pretty bad. Liverpool, you're just a hater. I mean, I'll give you some credit there. Like, I see that as more of a 3 than a 5.
I
I'll
don't
just
think
take
I don't think I saw
Um,
them winning, but
But it's not a
yeah,
crate. No one saw him winning. But
no one saw
I
them
mean,
winning.
I think if you saw anyone put them above third that wasn't a Liverpool fan, you would have to call a number to seek help for that person. I think anyone coming into the season, City and Arsenal versus the rest
The rest
in
of the pack.
terms of the title picture. But I mean, Liverpool, new coach, a guy who's been there for almost a decade. Like, that was a lot changing. All their best players on 1-year contracts. Like, 6th really isn't that crazy. I mean, you both put them there. Newcastle were pretty close to that range.
It's just
Yeah.
the Bournemouth and Forest at the end that throw it
Yeah.
off a bit.
Yeah, all three of us
Yeah.
got the 3 relegation teams correct, all in different orders, which is pretty impressive.
No, we didn't. Look who I had in 18th.
Forest, I totally forgot about that.
We'll
I
get there.
totally
We'll get
forgot that you
there.
put Forest there. We got at least all of us got 2 of the 3 relegation teams correct.
Okay.
Honestly, the fact that Mila put Fulham in 10th and they finished in 9th is pretty impressive to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because I think that was the biggest question mark because they had that all the change in the summer. They lost Paulinho and
I mean, being one off, it
Yeah.
happens, but not a crazy prediction. Some
Yeah,
of us were close
pretty
to.
good. Two
Yeah.
correct-
Why didn't I put Palace in 12th? That was the banker.
That was
is the banker. Yeah, it's a
everything-
good shout. But yeah, I mean, everything's pretty good. Yeah, Bournemouth Forest. I mean, Bournemouth's kind of harsh to them. But
yeah, but they lost Tony. And
Right.
like I think
No,
at
no,
the
not
time,
Bournemouth, that's
I
Brentford.
understand it. We all had.
That's Blanky.
Oh, sorry, you said Bournemouth.
They lost their 20-goal scorer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tough.
Forest. Yeah. Idiot. Not too bad though. So, did you have is there a metric, Dylan? Did you get for who
I
won?
didn't put it out, but if I had to guess, it probably was you in first,
Difference.
and then Mila in second, and I was probably in third.
I think you're probably last, and then me and Mila are close.
Yeah, the Spurs and United section of mine definitely threw off.
Yeah, let's get into
how
that. Mila,
there.
did you have any final thoughts on your predictions? All right, Dylan, let's get into your.
I got Arsenal right. So that was also banked in. That's just like the Palace getting 12th.
We all got
Arsenal
Arsenal right.
second is pretty impressive from the 3 of us.
It's the banker.
Yeah, the Liverpool, that's baked in hate.
Again,
be fair, I didn't
same
expect
thing.
it to be good with the new manager. Chelsea up until the last day could have finished in 7th, so I'm not too upset about you guys finishing in 4th.
Why'd you have them in 7th though? Do you remember?
I just thought that the project needed another year.
It wasn't.
It was more about not having the level of top end players in terms of age profile, because we talked about that all year. Was there really any leadership and experience in the team outside of Reece? Which it did rear its head at a certain point, but ultimately you guys got over the line because the experience was gained by a Caicedo.
Right. Yeah.
Also, I couldn't have predicted United and Spurs being that fucking awful.
You could have.
Year. No, I couldn't. I'm a homer. That's the United. Also, that's the thing is off the back of
you can't put your own team
particular. For Spurs in particular, I think off the back of the season before, it was the things were looking up and up. They just signed this. They paid 60 million for a striker. Oh yeah, this is here it is. The system has proven to work in the Prem. They only have to worry about Europa. They'll have a shot, and then they just got demolished. So yeah, that was my worst one by a country mile.
Well, not a country mile. I mean, Spurs and United right there. Yeah, Liverpool, like you said, the hate
fueled it.
But I mean, if we just look at those two big misses, right, and you just shift everybody, Chelsea are one off, Newcastle are one off. You kind of had that region, right? West Ham, everyone was pretty high on. So
yeah,
I can't really fault you for that. I just don't like West Ham. So
Wolves finishing a little lower. Wolves finished.
Forest.
Yeah,
the Wolves call was good.
They were the best team out of all the 3 of us because I had them finishing in 16th. We went in order there.
I mean, the West Ham shot's not crazy. Again, I don't know
obviously
why
mine
I
is
had Palace
totally
in 12th.
derailed by the top two. Honestly, the rest of them, like, I don't really
Not
feel that
terrible.
awful about the rest of it. Like, it's
No,
within
top and bottom's
5.
awful. Like you have two, not awful. Forest and Brentford aren't crazy, but like point
I
wise,
got
no,
the
point wise they're large numbers, but everything else
yes,
in the middle, to your point,
it's
not too bad.
the Forest and Brentford. I don't know why Brentford. I thought that the Tony hit was going to be much bigger
Same.
than it was, and obviously they got a bunch of production from Mbuemo and Wissa, and kind of just the sum of the parts kind of picked up for it, which is kind of crazy. Maybe the idea that the focal point wasn't Tony anymore actually helped them in Thomas Frank. But yeah, no, I'm not too honestly hurt by this looking at this again, thinking that I did put United and Spurs so fucking high and they were so fucking shit. So yeah.
Yeah.
But let's go to yours now.
Let's go to mine.
Because
Okay.
I think yours was, I mean, pretty good outside of Spurs, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, the top 4 is pretty solid. I mean, City and Liverpool flipped when we're there. Yeah, Arsenal and Chelsea.
Brighton
Well
8
done.
in there.
Yeah,
yeah. We'll get there. Let's get top to bottom. So Spurs. I mean, I think I was just pretty high on Ange. The injury bug reared its ugly head again, and again we've talked about that. I think he's partially responsible to an extent, but yeah, I felt like the business they did, it showed that ambition, and if they had some problems in January, they'd be able to do it again. Naturally, I was fooled by the so-called ambition that I labeled it as, but yeah, not the craziest shout in the world, but we move. Newcastle, yeah, pretty close. United, fuck yeah, I had them the lowest, but I should have put them lower. Yeah, I genuinely did have them here, not even like on hate. Like Brighton, I didn't think they were going to finish 15th. I can't lie. United, I thought, yeah, they'll finish 7th. I mean, they just finished 8th the year before. I was not very high on Ten Hag or much of the transfer business. I just didn't have the cojones to put them any lower than 7th. But that will change next year more than likely. Yeah, Villa, not too bad. Palace in 9th is honestly disgusting. Why did I do that? Because I asked before we started recording. I had them in 12th on my notes, like on my app, like when I wrote these down. Don't know what I was thinking, but Palace in 12th. It's peanut butter and jelly. Like I don't know what I'm doing there. It's a bit of a stinker. West Ham again, a little bit of an agenda, but you know it worked out in my favor, putting them in 11th. Didn't really love Lopetegui, and I also just don't like West Ham. It did happen, but you always anticipate the whole striker curse to happen. But Antonio wasn't there, unfortunately, to be able to play for whichever striker that flopped. That genuinely had a very negative impact on them. He's always been reliable there. Fulham, not bad. Everton in 13th. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, especially because if you think about it, there was like the looming thing of them maybe getting another point deduction. Maybe they overperformed on the idea that it was their last year.
Moyes came in too.
He did come in. That could have been. It could have been really bad. It could have been really bad. It could have been much better for him because they finished with the year prior actually pretty good. They did the same thing again. That's essentially they repeated history.
They're the best team on the beach out of any team. That's what it is. 2 years in a row with nothing to play for against another team with nothing to play for. They're the better side. Wolves, I feel like we argued a lot about this where I was like, bro, Wolves aren't that bad, but we all had them pretty much in the same spot.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Just not
Brighton 15th. There were points in the season. Now, there were points in the season, and yeah, Brighton 15th is crazy. I think anything below 12th preseason would have been diabolical. They've pissed me off, and they pulled our pants down at the Amex twice this year. But I don't know. I just felt like the juice would come to an end to a certain point. Another new manager coming in. You got to bank on more young guys to all be hits or the guys you signed the year before to kind of develop into that role. I think Baleba is the biggest case of that. They signed him the year before. Never heard too much about him. I think I saw him play maybe once or twice, and he didn't look great. It takes time for young players to adapt. Who would have thought? But they had their ups and downs, but they ended up, 8th. They'll take 8th. If it weren't for Palace winning the FA Cup, they'd have Conference League.
Which they might still get. Or they might. There's some Europa talk because There's an issue where Palace are owned by, or
Lyon,
also
right?
own Lyon,
No,
and
not
Lyon's
is it
in
Lyon?
Europa League, and so because they own like a certain percentage of Lyon, they can't have both teams in the same competition.
They
Yeah,
should
no,
just sacrifice Leon. They can't make transfers anyways. They're going to lose Cherokee.
You'd
Yeah,
think
that's
so,
true.
but I don't know if they have a choice. I know they were supposed to meet with FIFA in a bit, so
They'll get it sorted. I mean, I saw the same things where it was like Strasbourg, Chelsea, Mila with Girona. I'm sure you've seen it. Like it sorts itself out typically.
You just can't do transfers with the team in that year. It
Leicester
makes things a
16th,
little more difficult, but
yeah.
just nothing
Leicester
anymore.
16th is crazy. It's crazy, no doubt.
Well, you thought Vardy would have some superpowers.
I mean, I just wanted to be different and not have the 3
I mean,
relegated, promoted teams come back.
When was the last time the 3 promoted teams also went down directly after? Did that
Last
happen the year prior?
Yeah.
I can't even remember the 3
That was the
teams
first time.
prior.
Burnley, Sheffield.
Holy
and
fuck. We're in it. Yeah.
It was Burnley, Sheffield, one other team.
Was it Leeds?
No,
Did Leeds do a jump back?
Leeds are up this year now. I gotta fucking look now.
Yeah. You look. I mean, the only heinous. I mean, honestly, like Spurs
Luton,
is.
how can I forget?
Oh, right.
Double
Cheers.
relegated, so sad.
Yeah.
Brentford 17th is tough, but I mean, you put them there too. Like again,
Yeah.
Tony's gone, but
Yeah.
similar to what I was just saying about Brighton, Brentford's kind of like nature; it heals itself, you know. So that's what happened there. None of us put Southampton 20th. Again, it's a 3 different piles of shit, but they were the stinkiest, no doubt.
Leicester was supposed to get a point deduction. That never happened.
I remember saying I didn't think it would happen, and that's why I was fine with leaving them there. It didn't matter.
And like that's really what the switch was.
It
didn't.
That is why Dylan and I had it there. Yeah.
It did not matter at all. It did not matter. Yeah, Forest getting relegated is crazy.
That's
crazy.
Honestly, like the Spurs one is bad when you're looking at it from the table, but they technically got Champions League. So you got 5 of the 6 Champions League teams correct.
Yeah, but I didn't think that's how they'd qualify.
But the Forest one is crazy because they were in Champions League all year and that they didn't get relegated. I mean, the fact that they did as well as they did is like it
feels like a disappointment that they're in the Conference League. If you told them the day we released this video, oh yeah, Forest are to qualify for Europe. Oh, no questions. It's done.
It wouldn't be an achievement.
They've been battling relegation for 2 years prior. To get a European spot's a huge deal. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's Europe. It helps get you back on track. But yeah, I just thought, I mean, they were battling 2 years before. I was like, okay, just gonna happen this time, right? Like it's not crazy. That's just where my head was at. But
no,
we should have a lot of people up. Yeah, 16th, 17th, 18th is where we had them.
Yeah, no. I definitely didn't. Nobody predicted them to be top half all year. And the brand of footy that they played too was not like a brand that you were like, oh yeah.
And that's what caught up. That's what caught up with them. I think I declared like, oh yeah, it's in the bag. They did it. But I mean, the law of averages kind of came back to them. They had so many 1-0 wins, resolute shutdown. But football's a crazy game, man. There's only so much you could control. And I mean, that style of play, like you really need to be on it. You need to have top level guys, and they just don't have that. So I still think this is a huge achievement for them, but yeah, it wasn't sustainable. They sustained it for a pretty long time. They sustained it for a really long time and got them into Europe.
I mean, but honestly, impressive. I like I said, based off of the way this year went and all of the change, especially with Spurs and United just throwing the biggest wrench into the table, like. This is pretty good. Like I honestly was looking at this and was like, that's really not that bad. Like the amount of 5 and under predictions that we got right. Like for Grant, like you had like multiple ones, like Bournemouth, Fulham, Newcastle, even Liverpool, and you had Chelsea. All of those being good. Pretty impressive stuff. So
thanks,
I wasn't.
Man. I needed to.
I didn't look at anybody else's prediction videos of people like us, but. We clearly know more ball than other people. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's no doubt.
There's no doubt that we know ball more than other people. I mean, they don't have podcasts, so.
That's true. I ordered a microphone on Amazon. I know more ball.
Transfer talk. Transfer update. just going to be the staple of every probably podcast, so long as there's new news to talk about. Like, we're not going to talk about City in this one because it's essentially been the same stuff. So no need to talk there. But there was big news today that came out. News that we honestly weren't really high on last week, which was Mbeumo to United. I think we both, all three of us, really thought that Newcastle or Arsenal getting a swing at them was the more likely, and that's where he would want to go. And that's not
I thought he was in
what happened
Newcastle.
today.
Yeah.
I thought the Champions League football and the idea of a project where he'd probably get paid similar wages was good enough for him. The fact that he chose to go and say that publicly he wants United, and he's liking
before fees agreed.
Before fees are agreed. That's obviously a work, but it sounds like United want him, and they're going to just do what it takes to get him.
He clearly wants them. Yeah.
And I think both of those things matter, right? Like, Brentford isn't going to deny him that wish. They're not a club that.
It's also going to just reduce the fee that you guys are going to have to pay for him if you get him all excited and personal terms agreed before. I know we've been doing that, but I think United definitely need to do that for all of their signings in this coming window. Is get them agreed, make it hard on the club to say no, and if you can bring down that asking price from the club, then you can do it with ease, especially with the draw that you guys have as United.
Sure. I'm pretty sure I heard he's a United fan as well, but that's that United pull. I'm sure you had something to say on that.
No, honestly, the way that things have gone, I don't expect a United pull to be there for anybody that can get equal competition somewhere else. Like, the idea that Newcastle and Arsenal were both kind of in on him made me think he was going to those clubs, like just like a Delap situation.
Yeah.
Where if you can play him with Champions League football and the way that the modern game works, I just didn't think that was possible. But I think at the end of the day, there's a couple of things that probably went into play here. One, the project is tailor-made for him, right? Like, as a United fan, like, if you were to come to me with the project and be like, hey, this is the worst we've ever been, we're going to give you money and you can potentially get us out of the mud. That's a big thing that you can put on your resume. It's not like some stepping stone club where you're like, yay, we made Europe. It's like you're bringing United back up to what you view their level as. It may not be that level right now, and it might not be for multiple years, but a player who's 25 who can
that's
get
the PowerPoint. That's the PowerPoint they're showing.
That's what it would be to me.
Yeah. I mean, our PowerPoint, I don't even want to know what they're showing these kids, because I mean, why would Caicedo sign for us? You know what I mean? Like, you have to have a project. I joke a lot about it where it's like, oh, that PowerPoint's crazy, but you have to have something in place for a player like that. And again, a lot of people forget he's only 25. You have to have something in place other than just, oh, he's a United fan. Why? These are still professionals at the end of the day. Oh, he's so bald. But I'm seeing a lot of crazy discourse with him. I feel like, I mean, he scored 20 goals for Brentford. All we were hearing about, like, oh, if he wasn't bald, he'd be worth 80 million and all this. As soon as no signing, no personal terms, no fee agreed, he wants to go to United. Now I'm hearing he doesn't work in that system, or, oh, he should have went to Newcastle. Well, what is he doing? Like, he's not that good. Let's stop. Like, it's just kind of tired to me. It's just stupid. Like, yeah, I don't think he's a touchline winger. Perfect. He's playing as a 10. Oh, he's a transitional player. Well, we've seen United to be pretty dangerous in those. Yeah, there might be some issues breaking down a low block, but if he gets in the right profile at right wing back, or it's just Ahmad, now he has that attacking threat with him. Again, not the best just dribbler per se. He's not just going to meg two people, buy you shot, goal. But I think there's something to work with here. I think it's a really good signing. I don't think 60 million is a justified price. I mean, I saw that the asking price was 50 before this, and now I'm seeing 60. So again, they're trying to put that United tax in early. But to Mila's point, this is how you want to get the business done. Because now what are Newcastle going to bid when Brentford say, hey, United are bidding 40. What do you have? They're not going to bid anything. He doesn't want to go there. And I think that's another important thing. He wants to go there. You want players that want to be there, especially when you're in this state. Now, if you're a team like City who've been super successful for a decade plus and they have that, you can live with a guy who doesn't want to be there per se, but he's amazing. You can live with it. In this situation, you'll find out very quickly the guys who want to be there and don't want to be there. I think we've seen that for a good portion of this season. he wants to be there. So I think that's really an underrated part of this. You still need to agree terms. I don't think it would be in your guys' benefit to throw him crazy wages. That's what kind of got you here. But based off kind of how they're approaching things and they're starting to show signs of competence in my eyes, I don't think they're just going to overpay him wage-wise.
No.
But again, we'll see what comes out on that front. But in terms of the player, I mean, what's there to not like, especially a guy who's not positionless, but I think if it wasn't working in one spot, he can switch sides as a left 10, throw him up top, and if you need to, I think it's a good signing.
He's versatile, especially in the system that they're about to go run next season. And I know we talked about it briefly on the last episode, but this is what United are looking for right now. Majority of their targets are guys that can go do basically his role, but have a bit of versatility to their game where they can be deployed in one of those other 3 or 2 positions in the front.
A bit like United of old as well,
Like it'll
just
work out,
taking the
yeah.
best of the rest.
Yeah,
Take talent from your own league.
That's what Sir Alex Ferguson did forever, and it clearly worked.
Seemed to work for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bigger overarching talking point on United in the way that they're doing business, in the sense that I can't remember the last time United did 1 signing right when the window opened, let alone 2 within 2 days. I mean, that's essentially what this is. Is he's a
We're seeing
United
a
player,
pulse.
so they just put money in front of Brentford. So 2
You
signings
gotta
in the
do it
first
that
2
way now.
they've been slow in every other window where I've
You need to
sat there
be.
for
Yeah.
months and been like, what are we
Mhm.
doing?
But then
But
your
I-
number 1 target is gone, and then your
Yeah, and then
second
there's a
target is
protest,
gone,
and then you
you're
sign
left-
someone for 80 million, and it's
Right, that's what happened with Casemiro, right? Like, not to say that Casemiro wasn't a good signing at the time. Like, it ended up being all right, but like you end up overpaying and you end up scrambling, and that's been United's thing for the last 10 years. So it's good to see him kind of flip the script, go to something that has worked for a bunch of other clubs. It hopefully will work for United. Obviously, as a United fan, I can't get over the moon, but they essentially inserted 50 GA in 2 players in 2 days, and for a team that struggled to score and create, really, it's the perfect mold of player that you wanted to see him take, and that's the step that I would want to see him take.
It's simple, and you got to keep it simple at this stage. I mean, again, you've seen it, but like it's stripped bare. This is what United is right now. Yes, there's questions. Oh, who's the fit here in the left 10, the half goals? Where you're at right now, it's really that simple. You need goals. Let's get some goals. Go from there. When you're, let's say, in Champions League spots, and now you're thinking, what does it take to get us to the title, that next level? Then we start having these conversations, in my opinion, where it's how's the fit, what are we doing, squat, all that. Get the goals in. Agreed.
Also, just for like a delap sake of this, like it kind of switches the focus, where I think Mila was telling me this at the Galaxy game. Like, you no longer need to approach it with, we need a 9. I think the idea that United need a 9 now is totally out the window because of the versatility that you were talking about. Cunha can play there and Buemo can play there. They're going to both contribute goals. You throw that in with Ahmad, and if Bruno's still here, you still have Bruno to do that as well. Like, you've got enough goal output where like a Xerxes now makes a lot of sense.
Xerxes is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, and look, Højlund's probably out the door too. I'm not going to talk about it until it happens. But it just
bring someone in, but it's not, to your point, it's not the number 1 we need to spend the most money on a striker. You could just get another guy in.
It's not the focal point in your team. Exactly. Yeah.
Would you, Mila, would you argue that now for United it's about getting a midfielder?
I'm still confused as to where Bruno's playing in this team if he stays.
Probably in Saudi Arabia, in my opinion, but we shouldn't talk about that until we get more information. It's just a gut feeling.
My assumption is
my assumption is he's staying right now. Okay. 8. Sure. So you guys need a 6.
A 6, yeah, a 6 that can do both defensive,
doesn't
but
treat
also
the ball like a bomb.
Yeah. I think you now have outlets, right? Like Garnacho is not an outlet for the team, so
you might need a midfielder that doesn't exist, because he needs to be a 6, really good on the ball, cover tons of space, be able to get forward. You need Rodri.
They exist. They're Spanish 6s. You want a Spanish 6?
Like Nico was a guy.
Happen to all be. They've been taken up right now.
Trying to think who.
I think Adam Wharton's like the perfect player, and if United were to spend if they were to spend and splash on one guy, because I think there's going to be money to spend. Like United had 125 plus the sellings. If they can sell Garnacho and get rid of, and sell Rashford and get rid of Antony, like all those guys, if you can, and Højlund, like you'll have enough money to spend it on one guy. And if they were to do it right on that, and like if that was to sacrifice not getting a goalie this window, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't think
Orton would be a great pickup.
Bad, but
the only thing with him is he does lack minutes in the league still.
Yeah.
Even though he did kind of shine and start to break through this season, he's still not an experienced Premier League player.
Missed a lot of time.
Yeah.
Injury. In the sense that you guys aren't really competing at the highest level next season, though. This probably would be the season to go get a Wharton and then let him
develop.
I think he runs you
grow with the team.
A lot of money.
Oh, he'd be.
I think he'd go for at least 80.
Yeah, English.
Is that crazy that I don't think that's that bad? Like in this,
no, it's not, really not, especially in this market. But yeah, I think he's
that position.
Probably
it's like
he's that good.
Like what's Baleba? Because Baleba's the other name that I would throw out.
Baleba's like 100 mil.
Yeah. So is Wharton really that? I don't know if it's
they
that
paid
bad.
30 for Baleba. They paid 30 for Baleba from Lille.
That's their business model, though. They don't pay much and they sell high. And
30's not that. So 30's a pretty good price, especially for Brighton. But I don't know. I think something about Wharton. I've heard the argument. I think I might have even made it on here about Mateta. We're like, oh, they've got Europe next year. Respectfully, they are Crystal Palace. Do any of you guys back them to finish in a European spot next year? No. United, I think, are more likely to be in Europe the year after than Palace are. So, yes, he's in Europe. He probably does stay for another year, to be honest, but that's probably when he's going to leave. But my point is with that, Palace aren't going to be going to guys saying, oh, we got Europe. They're not going to be competing with this different types of players that they're going after. So, that Europe can sometimes be overstated. I think Liverpool, City, and Arsenal are the only three teams that can really guarantee Champions League to a player. That's the only team they can say, hey, we can guarantee you Champions League. I don't think any other team can say that. You got to be in there for a few years to really kind of solidify that. But yeah, I think it's a bit overstated. But yeah, Wharton profile would be really good because you need someone to be able to cover the ground too. But we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, we've talked about United for a little long here. Let's go to something else. Let's go to Chelsea. Let's talk about. I didn't put a picture of Gittins, but Ekatike's news continues to evolve. It sounds like that's going to get over the line here.
Yeah. I think again, I see through blue lenses, but I'm seeing stuff like he was a Chelsea fan, some German sources, so who knows? But it kind of sounds like he told the club, I want to go to Chelsea. They don't want to sell. Price tag's £100 million. But yeah, I don't think Liverpool have the money. If they want Wirtz, I think that's two very expensive signings to go on. I mean, we'll get to Wirtz later, but that would be really steep. It's kind of looking like we're going to get him based off of that, but I don't think we pay that much. I'm also seeing they want him before the Club World Cup. So I think this is going to get done pretty quickly, if I'm honest. He pulled out of the U21 Euros squad, even though he was in the provisional one due to a back injury. The reports are saying it's preparation for a move. Liverpool aren't in the Club World Cup. I think he's coming to Chelsea. But I like him and Delap. I think that's two different profiles, but it might be time for my boy if that's the case.
Yeah.
To spend this much on strikers. I saw something because we obviously got Delap in. Maresca was part of that pitch, and he told Delap to watch the Conference League final and imagine yourself up top. And that was part of the pitch. So I'd like to think when he saw that Jackson 1v1, he's like, yeah, I'm in. But seriously, I to spend that much on two strikers, the writing might be on the wall for him. I still think he's a really good player. I think he will come good. But like I said on the last episode, you got to keep up with where the team is going. And he is not a starting nine for a team aspiring to go far in the Champions League at this stage. Doesn't mean he won't be in 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. But I just don't think he's proven that yet. So we're moving on. And then it looks like Gittins is probably going to be the left winger. Rodrigo was always a pipe dream. I mean, he's at Real Madrid. There's not that many elite left wingers out there right now. The best one just went to PSG. So I've
They're
got my
gonna
questions.
overcharge you for Gittins.
Oh yeah, dude. You've seen
Unless
the
That
you
business we do there, right?
nationality, that English
Same
boost.
swap.
Also, are you not afraid of this Bundesliga tax?
Oh yeah, I literally said it last week or 2 weeks ago. I never want to sign anyone from there again. But
Sending
the
two.
new shiny toys always get me. I don't know. I think being linked to Garnacho makes me a lot less scared about the Kittens. It's like, okay, at least it's not him, but obviously that's not how you want to build a winning team by, oh, we didn't get Garnacho. Like that's not how it's done. But Nico Williams, the wages will be crazy because again, Bilbao don't spend money on transfers. They give their players crazy wages. So it's gonna be hard to get him away. He also scored 5 league goals too. Not that he's a bad player, but given the kind of what we're looking for in the goal scoring from wide, I don't think he adds that. Garnacho is one of those molds of a high volume winger, but I've watched him too many times to want him at my team. Gittins, I really haven't seen enough of on a week in, week out basis. But when I watch him in the Champions League and the games I've seen, he looks bright. I think there's a player in there. Is he 20 or 21 years old? He's really young still.
Yeah.
What really gives me the most confidence, unironically, is that he came from the City Academy. Genuinely.
Say, at what point do I buy you a City jersey?
Yeah. No, well, I bought you a City jersey.
I know, but you guys
Thanks,
might
man.
be
He's from the
might be running around with
It was from the City
11.
Academy. It was fine, bro. Bring him back. If we agree wages with him, if he fits into the structure, bring him back. I have no problem with him for 25.
He will not take under 200,000.
Well, he's
seriously,
a Chelsea fan. Hitting the badge, he's scoring in a final and taking his shirt off.
and he's also a United fan and a City fan. So he's just Sterling, but
That's
worse.
the meme.
If he wants to accept the wages we offer him, welcome back. If he says no, good luck. That's how
for
I
his
see it.
for his career, he should accept the wage reduction.
Are we
and
not safe in a sense?
No, because Dortmund,
Yeah,
he
he's
was pretty good for Dortmund.
Money. No.
And he's
Saving him as in we're not sending you back there because I think
he's going to get shipped off regardless. I just think for his career, in terms of like where the spotlight is the least on him, Chelsea makes so much sense.
They're going to bring in 8 more wingers for way more than that costs you. Like you're
right.
You can hang out.
He likes the manager. Clearly gets along with everybody. But like, if he keeps going through this carousel of like he goes to United and gets loaned out, it's not good for his career. He needs to stick in one
Felix
spot.
is going to get loaned to Benfica. We're going to loan him to Benfica, and then he's going to come back next summer because Benfica won't pay up.
Felix
is going to be a year older.
Yeah. My only concern with the 2 guys that you mentioned, by the way, is just the idea that we're buying more inexperienced players, and you guys need to have top end experience. And both of those guys haven't proven to do it on multiple year levels. Like
who's the guy at left wing? Because left wing, I think striker.
No,
I probably say an Osimhen or a Gyökeres.
Striker, there's much more clear options. Left wing, there's not, and like that's why it's okay to get a project guy. I actually think that Garnacho with you guys isn't the worst fit in the world because you guys would treat him the way that he would need to be treated. He's top 3 in GA of players under 25. Or 25, 20, 23?
Hate the guy.
I know you hate the guy, but it's because he plays for United. 2, he's kind of just a Ronaldo fanboy.
He's just arrogant for a player that doesn't deserve to be that arrogant.
In Chelsea, you're not allowed to be arrogant. They don't allow that because you guys just go and buy the next player. So it's like I understand from your perspective why you wouldn't want to do it, but I think in terms of like looking at Gittins and looking at Garnacho, they're not that far off.
Yes, I agree with that. I do agree with that. It's a very similar mold. Yeah. I've just seen Garnacho more, and I don't like him.
Yeah, I feel like if you watched Gittins all year, you'd probably be thinking the same things about Gittins, but it's not. I mean,
you know what it is, and I've seen. I think Yildiz is still an exciting shout, but I just haven't been hearing too much. Juventus don't want to sell him. Morgan Rogers would be the dream for me. I think he would probably run us 80 million too. I do think his best position is also a 10, but I mean, he came up as a winger. I mean, he said it himself. The 10, this was the first year he really played it. And then even again, most of the second half, he was out wide. So I think this goes to a little bit of a broader conversation, but kind of the way PSG played this year, how fluid it is. I'm not saying we're going to be anywhere near that level. I think it's all going to be somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be as rigid as we saw it. They're going to have a better understanding. This is the first time in a long time it's been the same manager coming back for preseason, the same ownership group coming back preseason, starting to finally get a little bit of stability, if you want to call it that. You're still going to have 15 guys come back from loan that need to leave. But I think we can get that business done as well. We'll probably go into it once they start flying off the rack. But I have confidence in our ability to sell players. But I think Morgan Rogers would change it, change a lot of things. I think that's the guaranteed signing. And they missed out on Champions League. So if there's anything you can do to get him in, do it. And his best friend's our starting 10 and our best player every week from an attacking standpoint. I think there's a lot of things to like for me. But again, I don't see how realistic that is.
I'm already going to be having you guys pretty high up next season, like as a precursor to how I feel about Chelsea. But if you guys were to pull off Rodgers in this window and you're running in with Delap, Rodgers, Palmer, and
Esteval,
and the mix of like whatever other wingers you've got there, Neto and Caicedo and Enzo and the rest of the gang, I'm saying this right now. I would have no problem thinking you guys might win the league. Like that's the type of needle.
That's where I'm putting them in the predictions.
That's the type of needle moving type of signing that would be for me. He is so talented, and the idea of him and Rodgers or Palmer and Rodgers for the foreseeable future is too scary for me to want to consider it. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
I'd be a big fan of that signing, but again, I haven't heard too much. We're interested in him. Villa really don't want to sell him. But as we've seen, they have financial issues. They have financial problems. We bought Omari Kellyman for $19 million. You remember that, guys? You remember who that was? He's a youth player. Had a hamstring injury. He played a little bit of U21s. We paid $20 million to Villa. So we've niced them already. All I'm saying. But yeah, I think that would be the dream signing.
It would be. 100%.
And we also announced the signing. Oh no, fuck your.
Oh, you did. Sorry, I did. Sorry, I had a good transition there. I'll wait.
Yeah, so we announced Asugo, who we did in March with Quenda, both of them from Sporting. He was on loan at Las Palmas, who got relegated. But he's essentially a less techie Caicedo. Incredibly simple. For the people that call Caicedo a shin kicker, which obviously you guys know how I feel about that, I vehemently disagree. Get ready for the real shin kicker. That's all I really have on this.
But, I don't have to get ready for that. He's not going to play. He will not touch the pitch once for Chelsea.
He might get loaned out by.
Sorry, I'm always looking at next year. The Club World Cup is cool because it's here in the US, but I don't really care about it.
We care. No, but
you guys.
We care.
I know so the money competition.
We've got Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Santos as the 4 first-team midfielders. Ugachukwu's coming back and Asugo, so that's 6. One of them probably gets at least one of them alone, huh?
Lavia.
Yeah. Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, Santos. That's the 4. And then one of Asugo or Ugachukwu. I don't think you go into the season with 4 midfielders. No.
I don't think you go in with either of those guys.
Why not?
You guys bought him on the fact that you got Quenda. That's what that is. We can call a spade a spade.
Oh, he's a highly ranked guy. He's like a highly touted guy, though. He wasn't just some nobody. Because we do that. We do buy nobodies for a price, like I just mentioned.
If he's not going to play for you, in my opinion, he's a nobody.
He's supposed to be a good player. I mean, literally the same thing's happening with Ugachukwu, so it's not a bad shot.
If you're not going to play, so you can either play for Chelsea or play for a team that got relegated and finished in last.
Oh, we loaned him to Las Palmas. He's not actually there. He's a Sporting player, but
Ugachukwu was the example I was using.
Oh yeah.
He went to Southampton. Like that's the build. It sounds
he got some
like
minutes last year and got hurt. Yeah,
he's not. Gonna
you might be pure profit, buddy. But no, I've heard some very good things about him. He'll probably get a loan. We'll go from there.
Yeah.
Hype.
Well, I don't have a segue anymore. So Mila, this guy.
We got rejected.
No. I think but
they continue. Yeah. I understand, but they continue to get rejected by Leverkusen, and the price just keeps going up and up and up. And if you keep adding up the money for Wirtz, you could fund any one of our teams. Yeah, with it out, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it ends up getting
you
done
could fund
unless
our whole transfer
Liverpool
windows.
don't want to pay.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you don't want to get embarrassed on the transfer market. You don't want to let teams think you'll just pay anything for any player. I still rate the guy very highly. But I mean, 2 bids rejected. I saw originally it was like English teams 100, Bayern 150. 2 bids rejected is interesting now. Obviously, personal terms are done. He wants to go there. But they're not budging, and I think for a player of his caliber, that tends to happen. They don't want to sell him. They're going to get every last penny. He's definitely going to break the record. I mean, they got 130 rejected. I think euros.
He's going to be the most expensive
euros.
player in Premier League history, and like it's a weird. It's a weird. I mean, this honestly, going back to the Caicedo thing, like this just showed their true colors. Like for all those people that said that they don't have the money to spend and that's not their transfer strategy and that's not what they do. To their credit, like you have Salah and you have Van Dijk and you got to maximize this window with those types of players. And they decided to stay, and so they're going to spend a fuck ton of money. I mean, they're already built in here 150. Add that to Frimpong, you're spending essentially 200 mil to Leverkusen.
Kirkish
and then you're going to be
40, we think.
What was that?
I think Kirkish will be like 40.
Maybe 50. Yeah, 40, 50. So you're looking at
he's young.
They're going to spend about 300 million, and
well, they're linked to Ekitike. He's 100 million euros.
Exactly. That's without the striker. What other striker? What I'm saying.
Do they go get Gyökeres?
Exactly. Maybe.
That
but
might
I don't
be
understand.
Because I haven't heard his name attached to anybody. I already think Sesko's at Arsenal. I don't know where else Gyökeres goes. I mean, United again.
Who are they?
I think they spend their money in other spots.
Diaz has to go for a hefty fee if they're going to be spending.
I saw 85 next to his name. Barca will give that to you in 30 years. If Barca's you pull off 85 for Luis Diaz, fair play.
If Barca is stupid enough to spend 85 on Diaz and not just 40 on Rashford, that's moronic because neither of them are starting over Rafinha. It's maybe.
Who knows what they're doing in the transfer?
They're getting Joan Garcia, so I think that might be their main signing.
Yeah, Liverpool want to spend. You to your point, these guys aren't going to be there forever. Salah, Van Dijk, they're getting older. They're still top level, so you do need to maximize this. You want to continue to be competitive, compete for these trophies. If they get it wrong, they can be in trouble. You know, you don't want to throw these guys on big money. I've said it enough times today, but not even the fees. I'm assuming he's going to get a good salary too, an important salary, as our Italian friend would say. But if you fuck this up, you're stuck with a lot of dead wood that'll be hard to sell. That's what we call fear mongering from me. But yeah, you just can't get this wrong. I really wouldn't. I'm going to make fun of them if they pull out and they don't spend the money on him. But honestly, it might not be the worst thing in the world to do. I think their midfield looked really good anyways. Oh, of course. Their midfield looked really good last year. So to say like they don't just go back with that and maybe add reinforcements to fill in holes, now we're talking. But yeah, 130 getting rejected is crazy.
He's going to cost a boatload.
It's a lot of investment in firepower and a strong neglect towards the fortifications of the team. Which it's all nice and stuff for them to be able to add to these players. They can go break a goal record if they want to, but if they're unable to defend consistently throughout the season, then I think a lot of these moves does put them in that bad position that you were talking about, Grant.
Mm-hmm.
So to go spend, it's not the end of the world or a big deal for me for them to go spend a 300 mil in one window.
We do it all the time.
To go only address a third of what you're going to actually need to do and kind of doubling down on certain aspects of that is where I see the issues coming into play. To not go and get not even talks of one actual defender, someone capable of
I wasn't even thinking of a defender. I was just thinking Gravenberch was top this year. He's your only 6. He played like every minute.
That's the
minute
thing,
for them.
though.
You haven't been linked with a
Defensive-minded.
striker yet. Just in general.
Yeah.
To your point on the holes in the defense tactically, like I think that's a really interesting question. I'm just gonna let it play out and kind of see what they're doing, because if you look at PSG again, Hakimi and Nuno Mensch both end up in the box crashing, trying to get on the end of goals, and they look fine, right? So who we'll see. I think it's a lot harder to pull that off in the Prem. We see a lot of teams running a 3 in the back end possession. But I like it. I'm excited for it because I didn't see that coming, especially with Frimpong. It's like, okay, they'll probably get the center back at left back gimmick. Hope they got another guy who will bomb up and down, and I'm intrigued.
Super
We can also be over
Yeah.
something. We really could. Like, I don't personally think this is the case, but they could very well be going into it with Bradley as their planned week in, week out right back. Maybe he sticks back a little bit more in the defensive phases in attack, but again, he's a pretty attacking fullback from what I've seen. We gave him his first goal, so who knows? But I do want to just kind of let it play out and see what the plan is.
I've got this feeling that it's a high fly act. Like they're gonna score a fuck ton of goals, and it might help them. We talked about this. It'll help them in the UCL, and it'll help them in cup competitions, because that's what those competitions are about. Ultimately, it's about scoring more goals than your opponent. This UCL proved that. I don't think there was many games that ended 1-0. And honestly, that's how they got burned, was they couldn't score enough goals against PSG for it to matter. But in the Prem, when you have to, like you're saying, they're going to be doing UCL and then the Prem every single week. I think you're missing out on too much defensive responsibility, and they might lose Kanate. Yeah. That's still in the works. That could happen. And then you're really plugging a lot of holes defensively. You may have fixed the offensive ones, but now you're fighting the other way. And in the Prem, you get burned. Yeah. So they might fly super high, and it might be spectacular in certain cup competitions. But when it comes down to doing it in the Prem, it's not going to be as pretty. I can't imagine it being.
That's what the signings say. You know what I mean? The players they're signing and the positions they're signing, it's telling you, oh, this is how they're going to play. But Slot, like when he came in, that was the thing where it's like, Klopp, rock and roll football, not so much. We're not gonna not take our chances, but we're gonna take less risks, more control. So it does kind of go against control, getting to just bombing fullbacks, but he's got to have a plan, is kind of how I see it. There's a reason I'm not a coach and he is, so I'm gonna let it play out and see what he's got. It is very interesting though, because it's different.
It is different, and we'll have to wait a long time to really see it, because
they're not in the Club World Cup.
Essentially what I'm saying. Yeah. But you got any closing remarks on Liverpool, or do you want to do a quick game? Do maybe like one or two of them?
D's nuts.
D's nuts. Fuck them. Anyways, Footy Tiki Taka Toe. I thought I made.
Are you supposed to add them? Oh,
yeah. So we add the categories. So we'll start with you two. You pick the 3 things that you want. It's nationality, cup competition, or cups, 1, and then teams or league.
Too much.
What do you mean it's too much? You just pick anything here.
Oh, like I thought you meant like.
Random. Do random.
Yeah, just do random.
Do this one. I'm doing this because you both are fans of this.
Cheers.
I'll do random.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking stupid. That's stupid.
This is fine. We can work with this.
Okay, wait. I'm confused why it's only doing teams.
Maybe it's because you're on the teams part. Yeah.
I thought that it would randomize.
Siri, Golden Boot 1960.
Just stick with the teams.
How do I
stick with the teams for now?
The issue now
end is draw.
That's dumb.
Yes.
Stupid.
Mila got that reference.
We'll stick with the teams.
Wait, I liked what we had.
I'm gonna put you guys at the bottom. Don't worry.
I saw Marseille and
Stop
I had
whining.
a hole.
There. Honestly, these teams are easier to pick out. So
yeah, true.
But
so who starts first? We'll do a number and make me and Mila pick a number.
Oh, that's. I've got a number behind my back, and we're on camera, so I can do this.
7. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that was
I'll go 5.
Grant's going 5.
5's my favorite number.
Hey,
come on. Didn't make any sense to guess 5, but it worked. Hell yeah.
Okay, cool. So you start.
Let's go Chelsea City. Willie Caballero.
Did he go by Willie?
Willie. Yeah, he did. Third.
Could be William.
Oh, didn't put their faces. That's lame. I'll have to do that in post.
Ooh. We'll go Samir Nasri for City Arsenal.
NAS. You're gonna help. You guys are both gonna have to help me with the.
Of
the
course.
spell. Terrible.
I will do. Oh, Liverpool, Chelsea, Fernando Torres. Really exciting stuff.
Is he this? Is he Victor?
Oh,
Oh no.
I said Fernando Torres.
Why didn't it pop up? Does he only have?
Was he typed in Torres?
Why wouldn't it? Why
There he is.
wouldn't Torres pop? He's like he's the most famous Torres that I can think of.
Fair
Twat.
enough.
Mila gotta go, or Grant will win.
Wait, I have to go.
Or else I'll win.
It's tic tac toe.
I know. I'm trying to think which. Oh, I see. I forgot it's tic tac toe.
Yeah.
I said.
I was like, oh, damn. My Tottenham knowledge is so stinky. Give me a second.
I've got one. Dylan, let me know when you push him for an answer.
I'll do a
Jeopardy noise.
no. I'll do like a 30-second timer. I've got it going. I'll restart it. Start it now. Here, I can know what I can do in the meantime. Wait for this.
I'm blanking so hard.
Do you feel nice and want to give him a hint, Grant?
No.
He doesn't. Why would he?
Because the hint would immediately give him the answer no matter what I say.
All right. Well, your 30 seconds is up.
I think I have to take this one off you, Mila.
Yeah.
He is a 2021 Champions League winner and loves Fortnite. Timo
Oh
Werner.
no!
It is Timo
I
Werner.
blocked him out of my mind. That's why I couldn't come up with it.
Timo.
I can't do that, unfortunately.
technically,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
you
great.
care. I win.
You want-
End it.
I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do it in whatever you call it.
I won, dude.
Play again. Okay. Who wants to play against me?
Let Mila go.
Or is it win or stay?
That should be winner stay, huh? Yeah.
All right. Chels. Where are you at, Chels? Random time. Dunk. Dunk. Dunk.
Nice.
Dunk. All right. You won, so you get to go first.
Oh.
All right. We will go Man United, Atletico Madrid, Radamel Falcao.
Whatever.
No, you
What?
clicked regular. I said Radamel.
I'm just stupid and clicked the wrong screen. That's why I didn't go in.
Yes.
Okay. Man United and Chelsea, Juan Mata. The only Juan that matters.
It's great stuff, Dylan.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I will go Chelsea, Benfica, Enzo Fernandez.
I totally forgot who played for Benfica. That is a easy one.
David Luiz as well.
So I gotta go Chelsea, Lazio.
The Tottenham Lazio.
Oh fuck.
Dude, I don't even know.
I don't know if I know a name from there. That's super tough.
Yeah, we probably should have checked Lazio first. You know,
because
I have one for that too.
There's one person.
there's one.
There's
player.
one person. Could we
I'm
name
gonna-
him? you
Plus
think?
watched him.
No, yeah.
I'm going to just go with
Nobody watched him.
Atletico and Benfica because I am not gonna get it. And I'm gonna go João Felix.
Yeah, I was gonna put him at the other one just to fuck
Is
you
it not?
over.
Do you guys want me to tell you who played for both of them?
Yeah, no one's gonna guess that. I feel like we fucked that up by even
It was
having
Gascoigne.
Lazio. Yeah,
Who?
no, I wouldn't have had that. Gascoigne. I wouldn't have been able to guess that.
What? How am I spelling?
Joao.
Gaza.
Joao.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, I don't think we're. Yeah, fuck.
Did we just end it as a draw?
Yeah, because we don't know anyone from
Who-
fucking
who was the
Lazio.
name?
We gotta.
Gascoigne. Gaza.
Yeah, do
for
new
sure.
teams, Dylan. Yeah, donkey.
Chelsea. United. Why is it always Tottenham?
Yeah, you gotta.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, easy. We can do that one. Add City.
Trophies. Nope. Managers. Nope. Teammates. Nope.
Oh, and make sure that. Okay, nice.
It makes sense. Make
Interesting.
sure that there is a player there.
Wait a second.
What?
Norway Galatasaray.
Yeah, dude. See, I don't.
Okay, hold on.
Get rid of. Oh,
I'm getting.
You're gonna have to do
Is
some
it me?
editing,
Is it me and Mila for this one?
yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. And then Grant can play the winner of this one for the ultimate winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, we're just assuming I would have beat Dylan there because I know so much ball.
I'm doing Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League.
PSG because I just want to. I'm very scared to put. Do you want to do MLS?
Sure.
Put another team
This
there.
is
To keep
actually
it
pretty
easier.
easy.
Put
Yeah,
another team, Dylan.
You got to do it.
I played an
that-
immaculate grid.
Tottenham. It's because Tottenham's
They
the
have a
other-
lot of
do
players.
both of the Champions League winners.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't know the
start-
winner of the Champions
I'm
League.
thinking of no. Hold
Inter.
on. I'm thinking of a number.
Any
Between 1 and
Champions League
10.
player who's played
Who's
for
picking?
Inter.
Yeah,
That's
we got to figure
one.
out order.
Oh yeah. You
I'm
have a
thinking of number 1 through 10. Yeah, no, it's 1 through 10.
Okay.
7.
3
It was 6.
balls. All right, Mila, you go
7.
first.
See, this is interesting. So we'll go Messi at PSG MLS.
You know what's so funny is there's, and I don't want to say it out loud, so I'm not gonna say it yet. But I'll
It
go.
works for a couple.
I'll go United MLS, and I'll go Bex.
Why did I do this? Let's go. I guess we might as well just go Dembele at PSG Champions League.
Musa Dembele or which?
Yeah, Usman.
Usman. Yeah, the guy that just won.
It hasn't updated, so.
Oh, it didn't count that.
Yeah, because it's. I guess he hasn't.
Oh, as of March 5th, I see.
Okay, putting Messi in his place.
Yeah.
Right. Cool,
She's Messi for all of mine.
Messi.
Messi.
Shit.
All right, Dylan.
PSG City. I gotta get this because I don't know. Mila's not gonna.
You got someone, Mila?
Dude, I don't know if I know this.
We definitely have.
I feel like you've had somebody in the past, but I can't.
If anything, it would probably have to be the other way around.
Like a City player that went to PSG.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. There's one big name.
Is there a bunch of names that have done both?
Let's see. There's 2
This
names.
doesn't look good
There
to
are
me.
7 total. Yeah, there's only 2 that I think you guys would name.
I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Either of you?
That's
the thing
As
is,
right now,
I almost feel like I
no.
have to
Okay,
have a
so
plan up
yeah,
to me,
pick
like,
someone.
for
Pick
30
another
seconds.
one then, because at
Yeah,
any
I'm
point,
gonna go.
think of it and win.
Yeah. City United Tevez.
Ooh.
Oh, Mila, you gotta fill that gap.
I know. I have to cover it up.
Or you can win it.
I could just win it. Oh, no, I have to think hard.
Here,
I don't
hold on.
think it's
I'll
gonna be.
we'll do a minute and 30-second timer for you there.
Oh, that's
Ready?
such a time. Do a minute.
Minute? Okay. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, starts.
Just gonna say
I-
Rooney at the end.
Dude, yeah, basically. I have the United. I'm not gonna go for the United one. I'm just gonna go for the win.
I genuinely cannot think of
I'm just trying
who
to.
this winger is.
I wouldn't have thought either of these guys.
Wait, is a winger?
One of them, I'll give you a hint for the guy I'm thinking. He was a striker. Played quite a bit in the Prem, multiple teams. Actually came up through PSG and then went back for a few years when he was young, but then went back to the Prem.
45 seconds.
Some would argue his best years were wearing blue.
I might just not know
You're
that
at
they
a
played
minute.
for PSG.
So
I
You
kind of
lost
just want to
that.
know who this player is. Who is this?
Well, it was Anelka.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
PSG,
know.
Arsenal,
PSG.
Real
I
Madrid,
did know that, but I
PSG,
just wasn't thinking
Liverpool,
that
Man
early.
City, Fenerbahce, Bolton, Chelsea, Juventus,
Oh,
West
United
Brom,
Champions League
Mumbai.
player is Ronaldo, by the way.
yeah. I know.
I do want to finish this off because the one guy that I was thinking about that worked for many of these grids, literally the entire MLS one, is Zlatan.
Mm.
We got to work on your typing.
Sorry, yeah, it's bitch. Champions League winner Inter.
Not Lukaku.
Kaba or what was small man.
Eto?
Eto works.
I mean, Eto wasn't small.
Oh, player 1-1. Congratulations.
Boom!
Whoa.
I did want to finish that.
So is it me versus Dilars rematch?
Yes. And then that'll end the episode.
Ew.
We'll do this one again. I can't use Juan Mata, so yeah. But you'll start, so you can just start there.
Exciting.
Let's do a country this time.
To Brazil.
Yeah.
For Chelsea, especially. Easy.
Willian
Barca.
Esteval.
Fuck it, Madrid. Trophies.
Teammate.
Not a whole lot to go with.
Oh, Big Rom.
Fuck it.
Put some of those guys. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, this should be good. Chelsea United, 55 million. Number 7, Mason Mount.
You know, Big Rom also works there.
Well, he works in a few spots.
Big Rom on Chelsea played with Lukaku.
I mean, he didn't play with
He's a
Lukaku.
different player.
He would speak about himself in third person, so that works.
I'm gonna take the middle square. Brazil and Barca. Neymar. You see his handball goal?
Oh, that's a good poll, Dylan.
You see his handball goal?
Yeah.
Impressive red card.
Played with Lukaku and Chelsea. Saul.
This one?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. United. I wanted him at United so bad for a long time, and I was like, "Dang, you guys, you had to. We have to get him."
Well,
You
we were
guys got
supposed
him
to get Chouameni, but we decided against it and went for Saul.
Chelsea and Brazil. David Luiz.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to think here for a second.
There's not that many Brazilian players that have played for Real Madrid.
It's a tough one.
You should think hard here.
Roberto Carlos. There we go. Do a fun one.
Roberto Carlos. Barca and United. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Barcelona and played with Lukaku. Fun. Shit.
I'll start the minute timer.
Yeah, please.
Boom.
Oh, Andreas Christensen.
All right, you're gonna have to. I don't know how to spell that.
Andreas.
You could do Stu Christensen.
Kristen. Is it SEN? No.
I think it is. After the T is an E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Christensen.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff there.
You're gonna have to fill out the played with Lukaku column.
Madrid and played with Lukaku.
Minute timer
Easy.
will begin now.
Super easy.
Super easy.
I think so.
Oh yeah, I've got one.
I'm trying to think of somebody who's played for like Inter. See, now I'm coming to the issue of I don't know if they were at the club at the same time. Because my head goes to Rudiger. But I'm not 100% sure. But I'm not 100% sure.
They trained together, so I'm assuming yes.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the punt on him.
Nah, he's good. Yeah, they played together. I was thinking Courtois.
Oh, that's probably a much better one.
Yeah.
Finish off the grid, and I'm okay, honestly, ending on a draw. I think.
You want me to finish off?
Yeah, finish off the grid.
Ronaldo.
No.
Nice.
That was a bore. Nice. That was a fun way to end the episode. Let's get back to the regular format here. But cool. Anybody want to say anything fun to end the episode?
No.
So 44.
End it.
Mila.
Next episode, transfers.
Yeah.
There will be some done. There will be a many here we go by the time that we have the next episode. So
in a Club World Cup preview.
Heck yeah.
Maybe.
I'm excited for that. In our own country. Go USA.
All on the East Coast.
Fuck it, whatever. C.O.C. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal. Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent. Potentially life-changing. That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.